Okay, I understand the task completely. I will adopt the persona of a theological researcher, historian, and master storyteller for the Bible by Candlelight YouTube channel. My focus will be on delivering a deep, cinematic, and contemplative script without any production notes, purely the narrative text. Here is the script for the video. Ancient Prophecies. Modern Nations in the Sacred Texts. Part 1. The Opening, Sowing the Seeds of Mystery. In the hushed glow of a flickering candle, as shadows dance upon ancient parchments, we embark on a journey that transcends millennia. Have you ever wondered if the echoes of our modern world, with its complex tapestry of nations and powers, resonate within the sacred texts penned by prophets and seers of old? Can the dust-laden scrolls of antiquity truly hold glimpses of empires not yet risen, of alliances not yet forged, of conflicts still ages away? Many dismiss such notions as mere coincidences or the product of fervent imagination. Yet, a deeper, more meticulous study reveals patterns, symbols, and geopolitical blueprints that appear eerily familiar, hinting at a divine tapestry woven across the vast expanse of human history. Tonight, we will delve into the prophecies of the Bible, seeking to discern if the very nations that shape our present were indeed foreseen in the distant past, their destinies etched into the bedrock of Revelation. Part 2. The Journey of Deep Discovery. The historical context, prophets and empires. To understand the prophetic foresight concerning modern nations, we must first immerse ourselves in the historical and geopolitical landscape of the ancient world. The prophets of Israel did not speak in a vacuum. They addressed a people constantly caught in the cross-currents of powerful empires: Assyria, Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome. Their prophecies often served dual purposes: immediate warnings or promises for their contemporary audience, and layers of meaning that stretched far into the future. God's messages to these prophets frequently involved the rise and fall of nations, demonstrating his sovereign control over human history. This constant interplay between divine decree and earthly power forms the crucible from which these extraordinary predictions emerged. The very concept of God using nations, both to judge and to bless, is central to biblical prophecy, establishing a framework wherein future powers could also be identified and addressed. Decoding the Scripture. Symbols and signs. When we speak of identifying modern nations in ancient prophecies, we are not looking for explicit names like America or China. Instead, the prophets employed a rich lexicon of symbols, geographical markers, and characteristic descriptions that, when carefully interpreted, offer compelling correlations. Consider the intricate visions of Daniel. In chapter 2, Nebuchadnezzar's dream of a colossal statue composed of different metals: gold, silver, bronze, iron, and iron mixed with clay is interpreted as a succession of world empires. While the first four are clearly identified as Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome, the final stage, the feet of iron mixed with clay, represents a fragmented yet powerful entity. Daniel 7 elaborates on this with four beasts: a lion with eagle's wings, a bear with 3 ribs in its mouth, a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, and a terrifying beast with iron teeth and 10 horns. Again, the first 3 are generally understood to represent Babylon, Medo-Persia, and Greece. The fourth beast, dreadful and exceedingly strong, symbolizes the Roman Empire, which exerted unparalleled influence over the ancient world. The 10 horns emerging from this beast, often interpreted as 10 kings or kingdoms, point towards a future division or coalition of powers arising from the legacy of Rome. Does this fragmented yet powerful end-time configuration offer a glimpse into a multipolar world or a resurgent European influence? Then there are the prophecies concerning the kings of the north and the south in Daniel 11, referring to various empires throughout history, particularly the Ptolemaic and Seleucid dynasties. However, the chapter extends into a distant future, detailing a powerful, aggressive king of the north who will invade the glorious land, Israel. The specificity of this future conflict, involving a powerful northern entity, suggests a major world power whose influence extends to the Middle East. Many eschatological interpretations align this king of the north with a future Russian or broader northern confederacy due to geographical markers and other prophetic passages. The prophet Ezekiel provides another fascinating example, particularly in chapters 38 and 39, which detail a massive invasion of Israel in the latter days. Here, a figure named Gog of the land of Magog, prince of Rosh, Meshech, and Tubal, leads a vast coalition. Magog, Meshech, and Tubal are identified in Genesis 10 as descendants of Japheth, settling in areas broadly corresponding to modern-day Turkey and parts of southern Russia. Rosh is often seen as an ancient precursor to Russia. This coalition also includes Persia, modern-day Iran, Kush, Sudan, Ethiopia, Put, Libya, Gomer, Turkey, and Beth Togarmah, Turkey, Armenia. The composition and geographical orientation of this alliance, with nations such as Iran, Turkey, and Russia playing prominent roles, strikingly resembles contemporary geopolitical alignments and tensions surrounding Israel. The hidden theological meaning, God's sovereignty and redemptive plan. Beyond the thrill of identifying potential modern nations, the theological significance of these prophecies lies in demonstrating God's absolute sovereignty over human history. These visions are not mere predictions. They are declarations of a divine plan unfolding with precision. The rise and fall of empires, the shifts in power dynamics, the alliances formed and broken, all serve a greater purpose within God's redemptive narrative. They underscore that history is not a chaotic accident, but a meticulously orchestrated progression towards a predetermined end. The focus is always on God's covenant with Israel and his ultimate plan for humanity, culminating in the establishment of his eternal kingdom. These prophecies serve as a constant reminder that no earthly power, however formidable, can thwart the divine will. They offer hope amidst geopolitical turmoil, assuring believers that God remains on the throne, working all things according to his sovereign counsel. Controversies and theories, the shifting sands of interpretation. It is crucial to acknowledge that the interpretation of these prophecies is not without its controversies. Scholarly opinions diverge widely on the precise identification of these ancient symbols with modern nations. Some approaches, known as preterism, suggest that most prophecies have already been fulfilled in the past, primarily in the time of the early church or ancient Rome. Others, known as historicism, see a continuous unfolding of prophecy throughout history, with certain events already fulfilled and others yet to come. Futurists, on the other hand, believe many of these end-time prophecies refer to events that are yet to unfold, often in a concentrated period of tribulation. The fluidity of international borders and political entities over millennia also poses a challenge. For instance, while some identify the King of the North with a specific modern nation, others argue it represents a broader geographical region or even a succession of leaders. The exact interpretation of Rosh as Russia, for example, is debated among linguists and theologians, with some seeing it as a proper noun and others as an adjective meaning head or chief. The very act of attempting to pinpoint modern nations risks anachronism or overzealous speculation, diverting focus from the primary theological messages. However, the compelling geographical and descriptive parallels continue to fuel ongoing discussion and research, reminding us that the prophetic word is living and active, speaking to every generation. Part 3. The conclusion, an echo eternal. We have traversed the ancient scrolls, peering through the mists of time to discern the echoes of our present. Whether through the fragmented feet of Daniel's statue, the northern invaders of Ezekiel's vision, or the intricate beasts symbolizing successive empires, the sacred texts seem to offer more than just historical accounts. They provide glimpses into the very fabric of future geopolitics. While caution is paramount in connecting ancient prophecies to modern headlines, the persistent patterns and striking descriptions compel us to acknowledge the remarkable foresight embedded within the biblical narrative. What does this profound interplay between ancient prophecy and modern reality tell us? It speaks not merely of prediction, but of a divine design, an unfolding story directed by an immutable hand. It reminds us that behind the clamor of nations, the jostling for power, and the ebb and flow of human ambition, there is an overarching purpose. Perhaps the most profound reflection is this: if the ancient prophets could perceive, however veiled, the contours of our distant future, how much more should we trust in the ultimate fulfillment of God's promises, promises of justice, redemption, and a kingdom that will know no end. The candle of revelation may flicker, but its light continues to illuminate a path, urging us to look beyond the immediate and consider the eternal symphony in which every nation